to another segment of the Don't Dialogue Show, and today I want to be your teacher. Karibieni na stools, nini karibieni kabisa, because I want us to learn about types of communicators. We need to learn how to communicate within ourselves, because you have to communicate. Yani lazima tu uongee na mtu. And we need to understand people in terms of how they communicate. You need to understand. There's a while back I highlighted on the issue of temperaments, and I told you how you can handle people of different temperaments. Now today, I want you to learn on different types of communicators. And just before then, our SMS line is 0703-339-959, and across all our social media platforms at Raja TV Kenya, at Wangeshi Mokoi. Maybe you can tell us in regards to the last lessons. Najua ni kitambo kidogo, but maybe you can tell me uligundua your what type of person in regards to temperaments. I remember I highlighted 4 of them: a melancholic, phlegmatic, choleric, and a sanguine. And you know, I feel like, in my own opinion, that these temperaments also huwa zinachangia sana to the type of a communicator you become. And those temperaments, maybe they greatly affect how somebody communicates. And on the same issue of temperaments, again, Jasmine was here. We spoke about people pleasing, and we discovered that most melancholic phlegmatics, they become people pleasers. Why? Because they feel they don't want to communicate openly, because they are in fear of what will people say about when I give my opinion about something. You see? You feel me? I don't know whether you're getting me. And today we'll be learning about the types of communicators, because communication is very essential in whatever relationship you're having, whether it's a work-related relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, whether it's a family relationship. Communication is very effective if you really want to, you know, get to understand the other person. And there's so many people. Most people are poor communicators. I was also a very poor communicator until somebody held my hand and told me, you know what, Wangeshi, you need to be a good communicator. And you know, and just as I mentioned, you find that most melancholics and phlegmatics, they will never say no to something, because they fear, what are you going to say about my opinion? Or they want to maybe ensure that they protect the feelings of the other person, even when somebody is already crossing their line. But today I want to teach you guys on the three major different types of communicators. And the first one is a passive communicator, and these are individuals who tend to avoid expressing their thoughts, feelings, or needs openly, and they may refrain from asserting themselves, and often leading to a lack of assertiveness and difficulty in setting boundaries. And passive communicators may struggle to advocate for themselves or address conflicts directly, preferring to avoid confrontation. And this communication style can sometimes lead to misunderstanding or unmet needs, or as a passive communicators may not assertively express what they want or need from others. You see, it's something that I have highlighted. You see, this is where the issue of people pleasing comes in. And as I said, most of the times our temperaments contribute to the type of communicators we become. You see, for a sanguine or a choleric, for sanguines and cholerics, they are not able to hide their feelings in most cases, because rarely will you find a sanguine tunaweza mkalia tu, ama you suppress whatever he wants to say, or whatever he or she cannot hide his feelings from anybody, because he doesn't care of whether you approve or disapprove. But for melancholics and phlegmatics, unapata they feel like, hey, nikimwambia tena ni judge, ama leave alone kukujudge, I'm not sure whether I am on the right track, but acha tu niseme yes juu amesema, na yeye mimi naonanga staki maneno mingi. You see here, staki maneno mingi. It's good sometimes to be a communicator. It takes time, because it's something you cannot learn. You know, you cannot learn communication in one day. It's a process. You learn slowly by slowly till you get there. I have nothing against the passive communicators, but again, tulisema people pleasing tuache, because being a passive communicator at times it makes you a people pleaser ama simp. Unajipata una simp na unaona simps wanaonyeshwa dust. Wacha kusimp. Every time you're pouring out and nothing is coming in, utajipata mahali where your emotions are now broken. Na utaona dust. You know, I've been seeing those memes of ati simps wanaonyeshwa dust. Unapata ati they describe how you text a man texts a lady and tells him, ni mimi ndo ulipa namba yako kwa matatu, and people are showing an illustration of that guy akiwa amejaa vumbi kwa uso, like ku symbolize simps wanaona vumbi hii mwaka. So for the passive listeners, don't fear to express yourself. At times it's better when you're out of that cage of living your life, be you. And at times you find that these passive communicators, hata ninaweza kuja nikuambie my opinion, but again you might override my opinion and nisijue. Just because I don't want to hurt your feelings, I'll be like, okay, let's proceed with your idea, because I don't want to hurt you, and I want to give you that privilege of feeling contented. You know, you're getting me? Like unapata in a situation where you utaki kitu completely, but because somebody, let me use an instance, a very good example maybe of you and your parent. Your parent requests you to, maybe I'm not saying it's bad, it's just an example, an illustration. Yani ile illustration yani nimeona ni rahisi kabisa for people to understand. Your parent calls and tells you, you know Wangeshi, I needed this X amount of money, unaweza nitumia because nimekwamika na mimi ninajua wewe umepokea salary yako. You had other plans for this particular salary, and ulikuwa umepanga maybe utalipa rent, you do the shopping, do your hair, do your nails, do everything, go to the barber if you're a man, ABC, spoil yourself. All that is in that particular money. And obviously if it's something you had plans, or maybe you had also planned to buy a couch and everything, so you are well aware, umelipa nyumba, you've done your shopping, you've done ABCD, maybe umebakisha hii pesa ya couch sasa, and now your parent calls you and tells you, I have an emergency, I need X amount of money, can you kindly nitumie because nilitaka kufanya ABCD, a project at home. And you feel like since hutaki, you know, you find that you always find yourself unafeel hutaki kusema you had other plans for this money, ulikuwa umepanga kununua couch, and it's something he or she would have communicated earlier in regards kama alitaka akweke kwa mipango yake hiyo project ya nyumbani. And you being a passive communicator, unasema ni sawa tu, nitatuma tu juu ni mama yangu. You see that fear ya kuwa na uoga ya kuambia mzazi, like, or even somebody you're related to, you know, apana because of ABCD. Usiogope kuambia people what your opinion is, what you feel about a certain situation, because by the end of it all, it's you that suffers. I would say passive communicators, most of the times they are suffering because unashindwa kuambia mtu no. Everything they tell you, it's a yes, 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 yes. And the other communicators are active communicators. And active communicators are individuals who engage in clear, assertive and proactive communication, and they express their thoughts, feelings and needs openly and directly, while also actively listening to others. And active communicators are skilled at actualizing their ideas effectively, asking questions for clarification, and providing feedback constructively. They are assertive in expressing their boundaries and advocating for their rights, while also being respectful to others' perspectives. And active communication fosters mutual understanding, trust, and healthy relationships as it encourages open dialogue and collaboration. You see? Being a passive listener has so many disadvantages, but being an active listener, by being an active listener, for instance, maybe like right now, I'm here telling you about the types of communicators, and I give my opinion about active communicators. And you as the viewer sends me a feedback. We have a conversation, you know, I'll read your feedback, get to understand you, and I'll reason with you and give you a feedback to your question, or maybe to your opinion about something, definitely, because I'm not going to snap your text here or your comment somewhere. I'll definitely look into that issue, reason with you, give you the feedback. Then you will welcome the feedback because we both had a conversation that was healthy. It was because I didn't come and shout at you. I am giving my opinion about communicators. You gave your opinion about a particular communicator, and I gave you my thought about your opinion, and you gave me a feedback to the same as well. You see, that's those healthy conversations. Si mtu anakukosea, you carry it. For like active communicators, that is the person. Let me give an instance. Utamkosea akuja akwambia, you know what, Wangeshi, umenikosea na ulinikosea because of ABCD, na mimi nimwambie I did this because of ABCD, and now you are able to reason together, come up with a solution, and later on mnajipata you are in a healthy environment. Hata hamtakuwa mna mtu kama huyo, itakuwa ngumu sana kukazana naye, because he or she will come and approach and tell you ABCD, you did ABCD, and I don't like whatever you did. So I'll tell you I did this and this because I thought it was right. And you see, those kind of relationships and conversations, they are really healthy. I can already imagine if you are all active listeners, but most of the times unapata we are hiding so many things. Unaogopa mtu tu, yani you don't care about the other person. You're just like, ni sawa tu, mimi nataka hii mambo ishe, and yet umebeba hizo vitu ndani yako. It's so wrong, but let's be considerate of each other. The passive aggressive communicators in this particular group, they display indirect resistance or hostility in their communication, and they may express their frustrations or grievances through subtle or passive means, such as sarcasm, backhanded compliments, or subtle sabotage. Instead of addressing conflicts or issues directly, they may use passive-aggressive behavior to avoid confrontation while still expressing their discontent, and this communication style can lead to misunderstanding, tension, and a lack of trust in relationship, as it undermines open and honest communication. So for this particular group of the passive and aggressive communicators, these are people okay, tumekosana na wewe, like let me give an instance between me and maybe my producer Lois. Nikubalie tu nitumie jina yako. So me and Lois are here, we are arguing about something. We've argued about something. We are working in the same environment. So as Lois passes by, I'll maybe say a mean comment while the rest are listening, and at a point of sarcasm, and you know, directly or indirectly atajua ni yeye ama sijue si yeye. So na bado ninamchekesha, on the other hand namchekesha tu, but akipita or akifanya something unasema or tuseme she's doing something wrong at work, and I'm like, na wewe unakwanga producer mzuri, unakwanga umeweza, wewe standards zako ziko huko juu, hata haufai kwa hapa chini, huko juu, and yet you know you're lying to that person. And at times these people, they might sabotage you in so many ways. So I'm here, Lois, I know Lois is my producer, and I want to pretend that things are okay, but I still have that grudge. So I'll always find a way to sabotage her, like maybe nakuja na haribu camera. I'm not saying that is what I'm going to do, I'm just saying an example, na haribu camera, and because I know she's in charge, yeye ndio atakuja kuulizwa. I'll not care about whatever she feels or whatever happens to her after that. You see, those passive-aggressive communicators, they create such a toxic environment for a person to live in, and that can really drain you, because if you're in a toxic environment, that means that you're emotionally and mentally disturbed, and you might not be able to be fruitful in your field of work, ama hutaweza kuproduce even the very best that you're required to produce at work. So those are the 3 types of communicators I'd love us to learn today. And that's where we come to the end of the Don't Dialogue show. But before we wind up, let me read a few comments on our social media platforms. There is Favored Anthony Tony. He says, hello, good morning Tony, tuned in. And there is Beth Kamau. She says she's following loud and clear and she's in. And the other person is Robert Bissem. He says he is tuned in. Thank you so much to everyone that joined into today's conversation, and I hope you've learned not one, not two, but several things about communication, because communication is key. Because I feel if the two, Jacqueline Kimayo and Evans Kosgei, if they had a proper channel of communication, or if they were good communicators, if they were active communicators, they wouldn't have reached to this point of murdering each other, butchering each other, and later on, Kosgei hangs himself. I wish we can be so transparent in our communication, because so many things we can avoid, even those grudges at work, we can really avoid them if we are really good communicators. Because why don't you just come to somebody and tell them ABCD is not right? Sisi ni watu wakubwa, tusikosane because of some petty issues. Let's be effective communicators, and by effective communicators I mean let's be active communicators, ndio tuelewane from both ends. And to all our Muslim brothers and sisters from here, from the Dawn Dialogue Show and the Faraja Fraternity, I wish you a Ramadan Mubarak, and this is the holy month of Ramadan. Be blessed this holy month of Ramadan. And that's all we had for the Dawn Dialogue Show here on Faraja TV. We've got so many riveting programs, and you would not miss them out. So stay tuned to Faraja TV. Until tomorrow, see you then, and God bless you and have a fruitful day ahead.